Alright, hey Booktube. I've already done several videos, but I finally found online how to do the Booktube Newbie Tag. And so I decided to just throw this out there and give it a shot. I hope these are the correct questions. They're the only ones I found. So let's give this a shot and see if I can jump on this bandwagon. Why did you start this channel? I started this channel to have an outlet that I can bleh about all the my tongue. Oh, it's my wine from dinner and I haven't finished it, so I just decided to just bring it with me. My daughter's in bed. I don't feel bad. Cut me some slack. Anyway, I started this channel because I needed someone other than my husband to talk to about the books that I'm reading, because I see his eyes start to glaze over. Like this afternoon we went out for a date while my daughter was in preschool, and we were at lunch and I was talking about the latest book I was reading, and he was initially interested and then he was like, and I just saw the spark go out. So I was like, okay. Good thing I've got Booktube now that I can just prattle on and on. As long as I don't even know if people actually watch the entire thing of what I talk about, but anyway, okay, that's why I started this channel, so I have a chance to have an outlet to talk about the books that I'm reading, and hopefully find people of like-minded interests and in what they read. So that's why. Number 2. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? Maybe not so much fun, but maybe more on the lines of unique. Hold on. I've got physical evidence. There are some truly gorgeous collections I've seen on Booktube of people's books. Mine are not so pretty, and I am totally okay with that because I am a cheapskate. I like freebie books. I like books I get for cents on the dollar. I got no judgment. If I could afford gorgeous, gorgeous books on the regular, I mean, Amazon, I might as well just buy stock in it. But seeing as I can't, most of my books look like this sad little copy of Sensibility that I've had since I was 15 years old. I think I picked this one up at a itty-bitty little used bookstore in Tupelo, Mississippi that doesn't even exist anymore. I wish it did. But alas, it is no more. So I picked this copy up and have had it for the past almost 15 years, and I mean, this is the movie copy. So it's 1995 was when this Kate Winslet and Emma Thompson version came out. So this is probably older than some of the booktubers that I watch the videos of. And that goes for most of my library. So I guess unique in that sense that most of my books I love getting freebie books from my local library. They have a huge group, and it's always a fun mixed bag, and I find lots of really good classics over there. Apparently people just give out their classics. They're like, oh, I'm going to read this, and they never do. So, I mean, I'm not throwing stones, because I'm definitely one of those. It's like, I should probably read House of Mirth by Edith Wharton at some point in my life, but for now, it's just going to sit on my shelf and collect dust. So that's what I can bring to Booktube. What are you so excited about in this new channel? Question number 4. What I am most excited about is pretty much what I talked about in number 1, the chance to talk about books. I am an outward processor. If I can talk about something that I love, I am in my element. Which is funny because I'm definitely more introverted. So it's quite the conundrum. So this is a great way to do it because then I can talk to other people without actually having to socialize. Number 4, why do you love reading? I live for that feeling that you get when you're in the middle of a really good book and you forget where you are. You're just caught up in the scene. I still remember the first time that happened to me. I was reading The Secret Garden in the 3rd grade, and it was the part when they had just opened up the garden and Mary had to go run into lunch, and she came back out and Dickon had left, and he left a really badly written note, and I just remember like reading and then looking up from my book and being like, where am I? What year is it? Who are you? And anyway, that's the biggest thing that I love about reading is the chance to escape my reality. And not in a bad way because I love my life. I really do. I've been really, really blessed in my life. But, you know, sometimes things get a little overwhelming. So it's a great way to just shut down and just kind of forget about everything and pretend, and not pretend, but, you know, lose myself in another world. My mother's calling. Give me 1 second. Alright, anyway. Number 5. What book or series got you into reading? The book or series that got me into reading was in the 2nd grade, The Chronicles of Narnia, which is probably a lot of people's book that got them hooked. By C.S. Lewis. My mom and I read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe together because my mom is she's amazing at reading things aloud. She's just so engaging, and she's got such a great voice for it, and she does all the inflection. It's entertaining. And I remember we were going to read it a second time because I loved it so much the first time, and I had been really picking up reading and doing really well with it, and then all of a sudden I'm reading with her, and I'm like, she's a quarter of the way down the page, and I'm at the bottom, and I'm like, okay, Mom, just give me the book. I gotta read it for myself. It's taking too long. And she says I never let her read to me ever again, which makes me feel really bad because she's really good at it, but I just wanted to crank through the books. And I still remember picking up the next one, Prince Caspian, out of my elementary school library, and he was my first book crush. I had such a crush on Prince Caspian, and I don't know, still kind of do, but it's probably not such a great thing because I'm married now, so it would be better if we were just friends. Anyway, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? Advice about how to do these videos, just little hints. I've seen a couple of them, like how to do a booktube video on here, but some of these look so professional, and the quality and the sound quality, I feel like the sound quality of my videos is just seriously lacking. So definitely that. Other questions, if you could only read one more book ever for the rest of your life, like the last book you could ever read, no more books, what book would you pick up? And it's one you haven't read before. So if you have a pretty interesting answer, I'd love to hear it. So just type it down in the comments. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? The challenges will probably be the actual editing and the filming and all the technology, those logistics. Like that is my definite downfall. Also, social media in general. I don't have an Instagram. I don't have a Twitter. I should probably get them. Maybe. I still haven't figured that out. So that's probably going to be a pitfall for me. When did you start reading? When did I learn to read? I was 5. And I've never stopped. I've just been a lifelong reader. I don't remember a time in my life even before Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, when I was in the 2nd grade, like, I was still reading small books, cranking through them, and reading with my mother. Like, I've just always been sucked into literature. And I don't think it will ever stop. So this is a lifelong love affair for me. 9. Where do you read? I read everywhere. I read in the car while I'm waiting for my daughter to get out of preschool. I read in the kitchen while I'm cooking supper. I sit down on the kitchen floor by the oven and read my book. And my daughter will, like, wander in from when she's playing with her father in the living room and be like, "What you doing?" Because that's how she talks right now. It sounds like Joey from Friends. You know, the "how you doing" guy. So she says, "What you doing?" She's so suspicious. Such a suspicious 3-year-old. She's so cute. Alright, number 10. What kind of books do you like to read? I will read, honestly, anything. I'm not a horror fan, just because it's not really my cup of tea. I don't mind, like, thrilling books or, like, kind of creepy, but not, like, in a gross way. But at the same time, it's weird because I don't mind books with battle scenes and that kind of gore, like in historical fiction, fantasy, or science fiction. The books I tend to definitely go for when I look at a shelf, though, usually are historical fiction. If it happens anywhere in the last, well, I tend to look 1980 and beyond, way beyond, as old as I can get. That's what I used to do when I was in college and I was working at my degrees in English. I have my bachelor's in English, and I was always wanting the classes with the oldest literature I could find because I just find that fascinating. I love as old as I can get. But for novels, I'll read all across the board as far as time period. I recently found I really enjoy science fiction. I've always loved fantasy. Just about everything. So, that is my booktube. Newbie Booktube Tag. And hope to be hearing from you guys. Bye.